What did a friend of yours do that turned you on without them knowing it? I was sitting on the steps of a shop with a couple friends when she came around the corner with some of her friends. We talked a bit and then she sat on my lap and brushed my hair. She couldn't get rid of me from that time on. We were married for 44 years and she died of cancer in March this year. I feel so empty and lonely and miss her like crazy. I'm so sorry. Hubby and I have had almost 13 years together so far. Almost 3 years ago I was diagnosed with a terminal and incurable illness. I've recently taken a turn for the worse and diagnosed with additional complications. We have been making the most of the time we have left, but I often worry about how he will be without me. We still have hope and treatment is helping me live a new normal, but you never know when it's your time. Edited to thank whoever sent me my first Reddit award ever. You're awesome. Thanks for brightening my day. The restaurant I used to work at had a vacuum we could use that was shaped as a big red box that you could strap to your back like a backpack. It definitely looked straight out of Ghostbusters. My very cute co-worker was using it and when I jokingly asked if she was having fun she responded with "who ya gonna call?" wink. This was almost 10 years ago. Those bastards. I too have been single for over a decade. We were studying and she said fuck this, let's do some jiu-jitsu and jumped on me. I did my fucking best to prevent that erection. She either has a warrior spirit or is into you, my dude. Pretty sure the erection was the exact response she was looking for. Jiu-jitsu. Let it fly brother. I wrestled for a long time and one day in high school my girl went, let's wrestle, I'll kick your ass, so I said alright, playing along, letting her get some ground, almost pinning me, then lifting my shoulder last second, just letting her have fun with it. Well, of course I got her erection. She noticed and started to put herself into some pretty intentional positions. Next thing I know she's riding me, and happy cause she finally pinned me. Edit. Moral of the story is an accident is an accident. If she goes you what the fuck, you could play it off for what it is. If she starts doing something else, more power to ya. I was wearing a jacket that was unzipped. She put her arms inside my jacket to hug me goodbye. Felt weird for some reason, even though it was outside the shirt I was wearing. Should have zipped it up so she could never leave. Fucked it there. Missed out on one. She knew what she was doing. I was wrestling with a girl, not fake wrestling. Both of us were actually trying to win and we were in a ring, who I wasn't really interested in. When she had me in a hold that I wasn't able to get out of, I got a small chub. I had reach, she had flexibility. Later, we held a tiebreaker in her quarters. I had reach, she had flexibility. FaceTimed me while she was wearing cute pajamas. Now cute pajamas is on my ever-growing list of things that I am ashamed turns me on. Fuck. What kind of PJs were they? IDKY, I'm curious. Edit. Also, don't be ashamed of what turns you on. You do you, man. As a joke of my best friend attempting to act crazy, she put her hand around my neck and tried to choke me and I just started smiling. Ah, the sweet embrace of death. A friend of mine asked me to hang out with her in her dorm room. We were planning on watching a movie, but at the same time she said she was going to do some laundry. I told her I had no issue helping her with, that is, carrying the actual laundry bag. I knew she was kind of taking advantage of me, but she also made killer nachos, so it seemed like a fair trade. When I got there she was essentially wearing sleepwear. A tank top, half shirt and very tight red running shorts. It was very difficult to pay attention to movie. So she asked you to hang out in her dorm with her, was wearing sexy clothes and made you food? Ah whoosh. When my husband at the time was just my friend, we were wrestling a bit and I ended up standing over him with my foot pressed on his stomach. He tried to move and I teased, don't move or I'll step on you harder, and pressed down playfully. It was that moment I realized he liked dominant women and I like dominating. You must be the only woman describing how a guy turned you on. All the others are men talking about how a girl turned them on. It's a little embarrassing, but I had a work friend who laughed as she grabbed my arm after I told her a joke. The physical touch combined with emotion. I think that's actually a sign that she's into you. She was meant to go out but ended up sitting with me chatting. She was all dressed up and because of the way she was sitting her dress kept sliding up her thigh. She fixed it twice but stopped trying. Her thigh wasn't totally exposed but a bit more was showing off. That's how I realized I have a thing for legs. I once dated a dude who was into legs and lem tell you, that was the fucking best. I loved what when I would wear shorts and just walk around it felt like I was teasing him, and it was so easy to turn him on for sex. Just wearing extra short pajama shorts did it for him 90% of the time. It was awesome. I sat beside a girl in school, really attractive with a nice body. She always leaned backwards over her chair to stretch and crack her back, so when she did it she let out that sigh and a little moan. Ye fug concentrating for the rest of the lesson. I blame her for being bad in school. And now I have an erection thinking about Kim from high school doing the same thing. Put her hair in pigtails. I legit fucking died after getting home. RIP. He was giving a talk in front of a bunch of people and he was so confident and intelligent and everyone was just so engaged with what he was saying. I legitimately wanted to just suck his dick right there. Watching him own that room was so fucking hot. By your description I too want to suck his dick. I was drinking with this girl and seating was limited so she sat on my lap. She's very overtly sexual but not a slut by any means. And my roommates came out and sat around us. IDKY but the way she was sitting and how confident she was made me crazy. I kept it under control for about an hour but then with the power of alcohol she felt me getting hard. Then without missing a beat leaned back and whispered I didn't know you liked this. I was fucking her 5 minutes later. She sat on my lap. She's very overtly sexual but not a slut by any means. I was fucking her 5 minutes later. AHEM. Look over here. Bullshit. Friend that sat in front of me in class who wore leggings bent over to get her pencil. She is fit. Scary good looking. And has an ass that looks like it was carved out by gods. At full bend she had her ass straight toward my face and I literally whispered the words holy fucking shit kill me under my breath. It's been over a week and I still think about it. One of my co-workers started talking to me about a scientific field he was really passionate about and that was when I started looking at him differently for a bit. I've been told women find it attractive for a man to be enthusiastic about something worth being enthusiastic about, that is, his political views, his career field hobby. Long, affectionate hugs. An attractive female friend of mine gave me a hug that lasted around 30 seconds and she was squeezing me the entire time. Halfway into the hug, I popped an unexpected boner that I'm pretty sure poked her thigh. I don't think she noticed, and if she did, she never said anything about it. I'm a long hugger, female, as well. This happens often with men. You guys just aren't touched enough I think. There's some magic in a long hug. If she's generally a long hug giver it's happened to her before and probably understands that it's not overtly sexual, just a response to the closeness. Edit. Ooh shiny. Thanks for the silver. I feel so weird reading everyone's comment and realizing I never got turned on by a friend. It legitimately never happened. Ever. People that I consider just friends are in this friend zone in my head where I can't conceivably be turned on by them. I guess it's because if they're just a friend I subconsciously eliminated them from being fuckable in my head. I'm a dude. Me personally would fuck any of my female friends. No idea how common that is. She asked me to practice lines with her for a play she was in. In one scene she was being bossed around by her husband. Do this, do that, wear this when you are doing it. And that was how I found out I was a dom. I told her when she asked me a second time though. She was a close friend, and we had a good talk about it. She helped me figure out what was going on. We did actually hook up a few times, but it was 10 years after this took place. We are still great friends. Also I am currently typing this post using her as a table for my laptop. She's super into it. Called me a fucking retard. We were at a local indie wrestling show, and she started heckling one of the guys in the ring. He started responding to her, and then tried to pick a fight, pointing for her to get in the ring. Instead, she just points at her feet and stares this hulk of a wrestler down until he relents. Fucking damn. Snapchat girl fighter. She turned pages and pulled stops for my college junior year organ recital. As she moved from one side of the organ console to the other, she kept brushing me with her breasts. This girl was pulling out all the stops. Touch my arm lol. Jesus fuck, get a room you pervert. One time, I was grabbing lunch with a friend. I'm kind of dorky and like things like comics and video games. Most of the time when I bring it up, guys feel the need to keep talking lore with me until they paint me into a corner with something I don't know. It's like they're testing my knowledge or something because they think I'm a poser. This time was different though. He just let me gush and then told me about the stuff he liked without being a snob about it. We didn't agree on all points, but he wasn't confrontational about it. I'm a really soft-spoken and shy person, but I could have grabbed his collar and kissed him right then and there. I wanted him to grab my hand on the way home so bad, but he never did. We've known each other for years now and he just recently told me that he had a crush on another girl he was friends with. Just about shattered my whole world, but I'll be okay with some time. So I'm in a very committed relationship with my BF. But my female friend unintentionally turned me on one day. Her and her husband came by to hang out. She was wearing black shorts with ripped tights underneath. I don't know why, but when women wear tights under shorts, it makes me a bit weak. She's tiny and decided she was going to lay on my lover seat and just showed off her legs to me. I had never been so confused and felt so bad in my life. That she let me lightly bully her. I didn't do something like calling her ugly or psychical abuse, but just teasing and patting her head. I started teasing and patting her as a prank. I don't know which was the cause. Just after some time of that hook us up together. She let me did it because she had a crush on me though. I miss her so much. She never wears skirts, except for that one time she did. It was this light colorful flowing number. It did amazing things to her already fantastic figure. I had a crush on a friend for a couple of weeks when I got to feeling that it was fading. Good, because feelings are complicated. But then he trimmed his beard. Oh shit, here we go again. When I was a junior in HS, I was in marching band. We were going to be marching at a home football game, so I was changing into my band uniform in a spare practice room. Just finishing up when my best friend, a pretty girl with big green eyes, walks in and was like, "Yo, I'm going to change in here." Before I could turn around or leave, she was stripping out of her shirt, and from there slipped off her pants, leaving me slack-jawed and trying desperately not to stare at her half-naked body. She just jabbered on about her day and her life while she put on her band uniform, and like that it was over. We talked about it later, and we realized that it wasn't her standing there in a bra and panties that got me so hard, it was the actual act and movement of her undressing. Something about watching the interplay of muscles while a female does that just drives me wild.